This is Roderick Strong, and you're listening to WNS.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 296 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your wrestling info, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
You know, we are in many places
around
the world.
All around the world.
Just like Stitcher,
Yes.
Beyond Pod, and Player.fm.
And?
Purse,
No.
Satchel.
There you go.
Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
You can follow the podcast on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel's at WNS_Daniel, and Tyler is at Tyler_Abear.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
And what words would those be, Tyler?
Suck it.
Oh, okay. So welcome to the show. Happy that you're all taking some time out of your day to tune in to us.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Raw, SmackDown, Hot Topics, Q&A, maybe some other stuff along the way. So, like I said, welcome to the show. Tyler, how you doing?
I am doing all right.
You hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Sorry, hiccup.
You getting ready for the Royal Rumble? I know I'm getting pumped.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a fun time just to get out of town as a guys' weekend and just wrestling,
Yeah,
and wrestling.
that's right.
All up in there.
Maybe a little sightseeing,
Yeah.
but mostly wrestling.
Maybe the river walk, whatever.
Yeah. I'm ready for it as well. I'm ready for January to be here. Doug, are you ready for January to be here? Royal Rumble.
I mean, I'm excited to go to the Rumble. I don't know that I need to skip 2 months, though.
Yeah, I kind of need Christmas to come because I could use some gift cards and cash and all that to help me out. But other than that, I'm ready for the Royal Rumble to be here. I'm ready for another WrestleMania weekend-esque type situation, and this one's going to be a lot more fun.
First time to go to a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it's my
Ever.
probably outside of WrestleMania. That is my favorite pay-per-view. But we do have to get past Hell in a Cell. We do have to get past Survivor Series. We do have to get past TLC.
What's bigger?
I mean, I like Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem as magical since I'm like a surly old man, but I like Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't need to rush through Halloween. You know what I think would help is like a little bit of fall weather.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You know what will help with a little bit of candy?
Candy's always good, too.
I could go for some candy.
Yeah. So
Bubble
maybe
gum
the
and
next
taffy?
show, we'll go back to our old traditions of bringing a bag of candy or two up here and just pig out. I think that's why I'm so tired today. I haven't had any candy. So yeah, as we're getting pumped up for Royal Rumble, make sure you let us know if you're going to be out there as well. Maybe we can tell you where we're going to be if you want to meet us and say hi and all that good stuff. Also, heads up. Episode 300 is right around the corner, and if you'd like to get involved in episode 300, just record a little audio clip.
You want to get involved?
Yeah, that's right. You want a bit of this action? Just record a quick little audio clip on your phone or on whatever device you'd like, and email it to podcastcrew@yahoo.com. It could be a question for us. It could be, hey, congrats on 300 episodes. It could be, hey, remember this episode? Do all that good stuff, whatever you want. If you want to be involved, there's an option for you.
Or like, hey, Danny, fuck off, you know?
Hey, if you want to do that as well, by all means. It might not make it on the show, but you certainly can't say that.
Is there like a certain file format they should use?
MP3 or WAV is fine.
Okay.
Or if they feel like shooting a video and sending it to us, that can work either, but that's just going to be a larger file. It's going to take longer to send, so a sound wave will work just fine, or MP3 will work just fine.
JPEG.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if JPEG will work. You can't exactly extract audio from a JPEG, but I mean, hey, if you can, go for it.
Yes, you can. It's science.
Oh, yes, it is a science. That's right. So, yeah. Okay. So let's talk about Raw as the biggest, the best champion in WCW history. Goldberg makes his return. Which
That's an odd way of addressing him.
Yeah, he was not. You could say Sting was. You could say Ric Flair was. You could say Hollywood Hogan was.
I was say Hogan.
Yeah, because I mean, no offense to Goldberg, he's whatever, but he wasn't the greatest WCW champion of all time. I'm sorry.
Sure, certainly not.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this: since y'all were like WCW guys, was that whole like streak?
I don't know if I'd say I was a WCW.
Well, y'all watched
guy.
it. Sorry, okay. Let me reset.
I
Y'all
mean,
watched
I
it more than
both, but
I watched both as well.
okay. So,
but I don't know. The way he framed it made it sound like I was like a WCW over like WWF guy or something. I watched both. I'm just clarifying.
We know Glacier
no,
was
that's
your
fine.
man.
Sorry, yeah. I should have said a different way. People didn't like the whole, you're next and like the undefeated
Oh, yeah, they
streak.
loved it.
People did like
they
it.
were
I mean, he was over.
yeah.
Over as
But
fuck,
he was limited, really, in the ring.
Yeah,
It was just, dominant spear, right?
sure. Like he didn't have those long matches, but that's one of the good things about him. It was just a quick match. He goes in, takes care of business and all that, and got the win. And then he started getting that undefeated streak going, and they turned that into a big deal. He was the strong silent type. He didn't talk very much except to come out and say, "You're next." I'm calling you out.
I was wondering how they were going to do this because, he was out of his character, being humbled and all that stuff. And that was cool, just that, the whole crowd remembers him and all that stuff like that.
I really like that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it went beyond better than what I expected it to have come off. I think they really caught a break because I think he could have been booed.
Yeah.
I know there's like the whole nostalgia pop thing, but also, I don't know. I just think there was like a risk to doing it, and I think it came off well. The crowd was receptive.
Yeah.
He was humble and genuine, and I think that worked for him very well.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the match is gonna play out. I know, Brock's style has changed. I don't know how Goldberg's gonna work well with it. But I mean, this is, I guess, a proper send off for Goldberg by WWE, because I would think after this they would try to get him into the Hall of Fame or something like that.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
I mean, I think the whole point of saying you're not just next, you're last.
You're
means-
last.
This will be it for me.
Yeah.
This is my chance to perform in front of my wife, in front of my kid, and
So I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm still iffy because of Brock's new, style.
Well,
and
sure.
How is that gonna match up with Goldberg?
and it's also one of those things where, I mean, to be honest, I didn't have any interest in this match. Okay, I knew how Paul Heyman was going to word it to make it to sell it to everybody, but it wasn't until Goldberg appeared where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll watch it. And it was because, like Doug said, he was so genuine whenever he came out. You saw he got emotional because of how the crowd reacted, and we've seen that with Shane McMahon when he came back and the crowd responded the way they did. To know that you haven't been forgotten in the eyes of the fans, because it's always one of those out of sight, out of mind kind of things. To come back 12 years later, still get that reaction, have the crowd chanting Goldberg.
Cool.
It really was a cool moment, and to have the humbleness and the genuine speech that he gave, talking about, I've traveled the world and I got to be a hero for a bunch of kids. And that's something that we really need these days, with all the negativity that's going around. What we need is a hero, and he's trying his best to do that for the kids. And that was a great moment. And then he went back in and it was like, I thought about it, and maybe I do have one more run in me. Maybe I do have that one last match. Do I think he's going to win? Probably not. The dude's been away from the wrestling business for 12 years. He's 49 years old. He's still in good shape, but
ring shape is different.
yeah, there's a whole different level.
I mean, The Rock was in shape. Do you remember when The Rock came back and
he was gassed? Yeah.
Well, it's a different kind of fitness.
When is this match taking place?
Survivor Series.
And that is
November, whatever.
Yeah, he's got probably a month, probably five or 4 weeks. So he has time to get in there,
what's
train.
What's the pay-per-view in December?
TLC.
TLC would have been better
That's the Raw pay-per-view. They weren't gonna do it. If they were gonna do it, it had to be on the Big Four, one of the Big Four.
Yeah.
And I mean, at least I would imagine it didn't have to be on one of the Big Four, but it would seem like a waste, or it would seem like too throwaway of a show to not do it.
It would have been a long time. It would have been overkill if they would try for the Rumble.
Sure.
Well, I think that if you take not the cut they did of his interview, but if you take his full interview in his own words, he seemed like he wasn't ready and he needed a little bit of time to get ready. But
he was like, "Guys, I'm up there."
I think he even said I would at least need till the end of the year or something like that, which is why I was thinking maybe the Rumble. I mean, it does if you think about it in the way that the Royal Rumble sells the Royal Rumble, and you don't necessarily have to throw another match on there to sell the Rumble. It's sort of its own deal. It makes sense that, okay, what's going to sell Survivor Series? Okay, well, the Rumble sells the Rumble. You know what I mean? So it makes sense from that perspective. The word was always the Survivor Series. I was just guessing the Rumble because he himself said he needed to the end of the year to get ready.
Sure. And, now that they have...
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off, but also the Rumble is taking place in the Alamo Dome, which is fucking huge venue.
Yeah.
So they may have trouble, putting asses in those many seats.
I don't know.
What size building is it?
It's a 60,000 to 70,000,
So-
but you take away a certain amount due
Is
to
it
the
bigger than the
entrance.
Dallas thing? Or
No.
okay.
Dallas is over
Dallas is-
100,000.
Oh, okay.
It's big for...
It's smaller than the Superdome, but it's still up there.
But even then, I mean, what size venue is Toyota Center?
Toyota Center is probably
20,000 seater.
25, somewhere around there.
So it's
22.
It's
It's fairly large. I mean, it can
it's
hold a
double.
football stadium,
yeah.
or I mean, it can hold a football field.
They won't sell it out. I don't believe they will. The product's not hot enough to sell that out.
I mean, they are hyping the hell out of
Have
it.
you
though.
seen these pictures of house shows floating around with nobody in the fucking stands? Look like a TNA house show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the same could be said
man.
for whenever they came to Beaumont last time around.
So
That's
it
what I'm
could
saying,
depend on,
It could just be something else was going on that night, or
depend on which town
I
too.
think
I
the
guess.
products. I think the product's just cold, and there aren't that many people.
which is sad. But
Yeah.
I mean, if they're offering travel packages and stuff like that, I'm sure some people will pick that up and all that.
I don't know. They don't seem like that good of a deal if you do the math.
Yeah, really not.
They might be more of a scam than a deal.
Well, I mean, you're getting pretty.
I'm just joking. It
Yeah.
just doesn't look that appealing.
The solid seats and the collectible chair and the Sunday breakfast thing that they have. That seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the stuff that we're planning on attending is going to be pretty badass.
I mean, the thing about those types of packages is that if you plan to do anything outside of WWE stuff, then
You're kind of screwed.
Yeah, there's no point in doing them.
Mm-hmm. But who knows? We'll see what all they have to offer in San Antonio. But yeah, as far as Goldberg and Lesnar too, I mean, just go back and watch the first one. But you can also take into account that both of them weren't really interested in that
what's
matchup.
The thing though was the crowd kind of made that, right? Because they knew that they were leaving.
Yeah, they knew that both guys were leaving.
I gotta rewatch that match.
They
This
both
is a
knew
long
that they
time.
were leaving.
The match itself still wasn't very
Yeah,
good.
they didn't care about the match. They had 80% stare down, one move. Oh, now you do it to me. Oh, I'll do it. And we have a stalemate.
Yeah.
Okay, well now you hit the ropes and boom into the chest. All right, well you hit the ropes. Oh, darn. Now we're gonna argue with Austin. Like the most over guy was Austin in that match, and he was the referee.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I wouldn't expect too much differently out of this match. They're a lot older. It's it's not really that one of their feet aren't anymore out the door. They're both like Brock's a part timer and Goldberg's doing his last match, and so it's not like they are sticking around. Still pretty much the same situation, and they're older, and Goldberg hasn't, even if he was in fantastic shape, he hasn't done it in like 13 years or whatever it has been. So I wouldn't expect
those bumps in.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a great match. They're going to do a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's going to be a spectacle, and that's what
Goldberg will hit a spear. Lesnar will kick out. Hit a jackhammer. He'll kick out.
Think Shane and Undertaker. It's going to be that kind of a thing. It's going to be less of a match and more of like a
spectacle.
Yeah.
Look what's going on. Oh my God. So I don't know.
Don't worry, I got Goldberg killing fools in 2K17.
There you go. Who's your champ right now?
My champ on Raw's Owens, SmackDown AJ.
Nice.
It's current people.
Good to see you're straying from the universe.
The universe is actually the same as now. So.
Oh, okay. For now.
Okay.
So speaking of Owens, they kicked off Raw with Jericho. Slowly, the tension is starting to build. The split is imminent. Jericho and Owens going to be.
Dude, I get you. You're saying that, but I don't know why you're saying that. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You're still my best friend, okay?
Rollins trying to cut a face promo. I chuckled the first time at Sparkle Crotch. The next 6 times, not so much.
I mean, he didn't even get one out of me. So
yeah. I mean,
I'm sort of a tough customer though when it comes to like.
Sure.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing. Sushan started busting out laugh. That's the only thing he was positive towards on Raw.
You know what? It really bothers me in general when like someone comes out there with like a goofy thing they want people to chant or a goofy thing they want people to like tweet about and hashtag. You can tell that like this is something that he already there's a different feeling when something comes off the cuffs and you just sort of say it, and then that resonates a little easier with me, a little better with me than like what's a thing that I can try and get people to me that's like too like up your own ass about stuff. Like just
yeah, this will work.
Yeah.
And if I say it a few more times, it'll catch on.
Oh yeah, the crowd will bite anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
They have a lot of floundering humor. Like Jericho's spot on right now with his
Jericho's
humor.
tearing it up, but I don't know.
Not the best from Rollins.
Yeah.
Getting the crowd to chant Sparkle Crotch or whatever. Then Jericho kicked Kevin Owens out, saying, "No, I can handle this. I can handle Rollins. I know I've taken the pedigree 2 weeks in a row now, but damn it, this is my time." And so the match gets underway. Owens comes out later on. Rollins gets the victory. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like I have much to say about the show. Like, I feel like there's something I should be jumping in with, but honestly, I don't know. I mean, I have any strong opinions or takes about anything.
Probably the strongest opinion that I had about anything was the dominance from Big Cass, the Charlotte interview that took place. Other than that,
I don't even remember what Big Cass did.
I mean, he came in and just like wailed on Carl Anderson. I mean, it was like a 2-minute matchup.
That's right.
He just went to town on him. Rusev's family introduction thing got canceled by Roman Reigns. I was cracking up at that. He was like, look at that handsome man. That is my father. You can see where I get my good looks from.
Yeah.
I was cracking up at that, and then Roman came out. And I was like, dude, you're spoiling it. Like I was actually digging it. The picture of the family dog and his brother and all that. I thought it was great.
Oh, this is sort of off topic, but did you watch Total Bellas this week?
I watched half of it.
Lana was on like completely off. It was so jarring to hear her talk without the accent.
She finally dropped it for like.
Well, it was for Total Bellas, but
how dare she?
I mean, it's off topic, but I just
Total Bellas or Divas?
Total Bellas.
Interesting. Do you guys want to talk about Total Bellas while you're on the?
I mean, I was just mentioning that because we were talking about Rusev, and there was nothing much more to Lana other than that she spoke without the accent.
I only watched half of it because I had to go do other stuff.
Yeah, other other things popped up.
No big deal.
Yeah. Charlotte got interviewed by Lita.
Who's Leela?
I've been watching Futurama. Sorry. That was a fine job. They talked about the Hell in a Cell and how she's the queen and all that. So the reason why there hasn't been a Hell in a Cell match featuring two women is because there's not been a woman like Charlotte before, and so be on the lookout for that. R-Truth, Goldust, Mark Henry defeat the Shining Stars and Titus O'Neil. Whatever.
You guys were. I remember you saying like, I don't get this like Shining Stars like touristy thing they're doing, but now it seems like they've evolved the gimmick to they're just sort of like scam artists in general with the watches and stuff. Is that
Rolexes?
Is that doing anything for you?
Not at all.
Okay.
Mostly because it's involving people who aren't on the show regularly enough, I guess. Although I guess they're trying to establish themselves with people who are trying to establish themselves.
I feel like it's giving them a little more to do than like just saying like.
Because you guys were like, what is this fucking character? I'm like saying I think that they're saying that the characters they're sort of scam artists in general.
Yeah.
But like a few weeks ago, they weren't like that. They just kept on saying just come to Puerto Rico and they just
and
have
stay at our timeshare.
It was like, okay, now we're gonna
and buy these fancy watches.
Yeah.
And check out
all
these.
Right. I mean,
check out these awesome sunglasses. They're Ray-Buns.
Sucks. I kind of wish they would, give them more of a chance or something. I don't know. I just feel like I wish the best for them. This is what their third repackage,
their third chance,
or what would you call it?
Yeah, repackaging. Just kind of sad to see.
Because like how many times before they were like, "Hey, it's not working. We're just gonna let y'all go."
Yeah. And Titus O'Neil had his press conference afterwards.
The bright side is that with the split roster, they need everyone they can get.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, that's why like Ellsworth is on SmackDown.
Oh gosh,
are they or are they not having fun over on SmackDown with this kind of match?
I'll tell you one thing, that SmackDown's a hell of a lot easier to watch, and it's not just because it's an hour shorter.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's just
there's just something.
It's not great, but it's just an easier watch. I don't know. I don't even know exactly what it is.
Maybe it's the blue. It's easier on the eyes.
Do you know they signed that guy to a contract?
He's on a paid per appearance gig.
Okay, because they got a shirt with him.
That's just a cash grab.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like when they did the AJ and Jericho tag shirt for 2 weeks before they broke up or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Sell the product. Anyone who buys it is a
man,
sucker.
I'll tell you what, man. Like, just
I mean, hopefully he gets a cut of that.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is just strange. Everything's like, where they're bringing in like indie guys and all that stuff, and they have local talent. We have him now. We got a shirt of a local talent who's not,
Mm-hmm.
Things are just weird, man.
He's a little more than a local talent. I mean, he's sort of like a established jobber.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, local talent are the people you forget because there's a new one next week to do the job. He
was originally supposed to be that, but the crowd got onto him, and
he just has a distinct look. And then I think that really helped him. Hey, this is gonna sound like I'm being an asshole, but I mean this as a compliment. Well, no, okay, it's not even really a compliment. I'm just saying that I also would. I think I would like to look at this if I was James Ellsworth. And look, I'm not a handsome man. I'm not. He's not either. I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not a handsome man. Neither is he. But I would like to think that if I was sort of a middling wrestler who was not like getting a break or anything, and an opportunity like this came along when but I know that the joke was on me. I would still be like, all right, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, let's make as much money as we can with this.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Because the joke is not that he was like really impressive in his like squash match. The joke was that he was like a weird looking dude who had a weird like I believe that he guy with two fists, and they just like okay. Let's see what happens.
He's the ultimate underdog.
Yeah, he's like making something out of completely nothing. And I would like to think that if I was in this situation, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, even though I knew the joke was on me, I would be like, fuck it, man, let's do this.
Yeah.
Dude, I just thought of like tonight when I go home, I'm gonna check 2K17 and someone made him on the community creations
DLC.
Oh, dude, I gotta see if someone made him. That'd be great.
What'd you guys think of the commentary during that match? Because I was rolling. I was dying.
Do you mean like when he tried to put the chin lock on, but like he has no chin, so it slid off?
Yes.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And the line from JBL, he was like, he looks like a turtle without a shell, and the no chin music, and just
No chin.
I mean, it's just the stupidest stuff. But it goes back to what you're saying. It's like, you know, the joke's on you. You know, you're obvious of what you look like.
It's this or like being a fucking independent wrestler and wherever the fuck he's from.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, why not? You know, why
yeah,
not
exactly. Like, I'm gonna milk these 15 minutes of my fame as I can.
I would rather be the chin job guy from WWE than the nobody from nowhere. Like,
exactly. And you know what this does for him? More appearances.
Yeah,
Get that money.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I hope they use him more too.
Yeah, I mean,
like him.
Well, look, he's got 2 wins over AJ. He's got to come back.
yeah, he's gonna win that title.
If anything, he should be getting the title shot, not Dean. He's the one with the wins over AJ.
I mean, it made me question. It was like, they wouldn't do that, would they? I mean, all logic, all sense and logic would say no. There's no way that they would do that.
I missed certain parts of the last match. Did AJ hit the Styles Clash again?
Not in this match.
Oh, okay.
No, it didn't happen. He ended up getting himself disqualified. But
because I didn't watch the end part of it, but I was, if that first time when he didn't, I mean, he tucked his
chin, his non-existent chin.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, congrats to the dude, because
I mean,
it's life changing. This is,
of course.
This is, you know, people who get in the wrestling business, like, this kind of stuff is what they want to do. Not necessarily the ha 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 make fun of me kind of thing, but to appear on national TV, challenging the champion in whatever manner it was.
The stats of how many people bought that shirt.
I mean,
I'd like to know that too.
Even if it's only his 15 minutes of fame, at least he got his fucking 15 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
I gotta face James Ellsworth, a wet noodle of a man.
I mean, because you got to think, like, before he appeared on Raw and had the match with Braun Strowman, how many interviews was he doing? How many appearances was he making? That's all changed since that day.
I mean, in all fairness, I don't know his career before this, so I don't know if he was a guy who was, doing matches every weekend and well traveled or anything like that. I mean, I watch a lot more wrestling than a lot more people, and I had never heard of him, so I would assume that this is like a big deal for him.
Well, I think on Talking Smack, Daniel Bryan was talking to him and saying that, you've been in the business for about 10 or 12 years or 12 or 14 years or something like that. And so this is your big break. So, it is one of those things where it's like, I ran it in my local wrestling promotion. And there was an interview that he did where it was like, how'd you get the call? And he was like, well, I went to the WWE website and started sending my resume, and I wouldn't stop until they called me. So that's what it takes. He got called in to be an extra one time. The next time they came around, they said, hey, we're going to put you in this match against Braun Strowman, and the rest is history. So, you just got to put yourself out there.
You want to let this big burly man beat on you?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right, let's do it.
Yeah. But as long as you've got 2 hands, you got a fighting chance.
Did they say that in the back of the shirt?
No, it doesn't say anything on the back of the shirt, but it should say that.
It should.
I think it would.
Well, I like his Titantron graphic has the 2 fists around the thing.
I just love that. Like,
make that up. That's that.
No, that's yeah.
Okay. I was like, did I dream that?
No, you did not, because I was laughing the whole time. It was great. And that is
We're
one
all
of those,
over the place.
Hey, who cares?
Yeah.
Free flowing show this week. But I mean, the dude, that's his dream, and he's getting to live it. So
good for him, man.
Yeah, major
I
props.
still think they need to come out with an action figure of that dude.
Hey,
I would buy it. I'm not joking. I would.
If, like you said, if they keep him around, eventually that might come up.
I would buy the action figure.
They did that Colin Delaney action figure. Of course, he stuck around for a little bit of a run. So
yeah, till he eventually gets that one big win. But Ellsworth's already got those 2 big wins over AJ Styles.
That's how Colin started out the same way. I mean, it would not surprise with the split brand and the overall need for more talent. It would not surprise me for him to stick around for a little bit.
Yeah, or even just rare appearances every once in a while. It just pops up backstage. Hey guys, how's it going? Y'all need me in the match tonight? I'm like, no, James,
Heath Slater is sort of like been lended a little bit of credibility, so you need like a new job, like a
lovable loser.
like an
True.
overjob
True.
guy.
Yeah, Heath has moved up.
So, I mean, yeah, congrats to him, dude.
What do you think
Getting
of
to
the
live
fact
dream.
that he is probably like the most ever guy on the whole show?
Oh man.
Do you think that's just do you think that speaks to the how entertaining the segment was, or do you think it's more so speaks to how like cold and clammy the rest of the product is? Is it more of an indictment of the rest of the roster, or is it like props to him?
I think it was just something fresh, something to. It's a quick trend kind of thing. Oh, let's hop on this guy, Then it'll fizzle out, and something else will come along.
Because the only thing with
SmackDown,
SmackDown, like it's him and AJ. That's
yeah.
Well, the thing is like Cena.
15-year-old trend.
Well, no,
Orton,
I just mean like
15-year-old trend.
I just mean there are like about 4 guys on SmackDown who you could honestly consider a title contender, and with like Cena back out, and then you've already got like AJ can't keep wrestling Dean over and over again. He needs a diversion, and this was a few weeks, sort of like how Naomi was a bit of a diversion for Alexa because Becky's was out. It's the same thing. It's just like giving him something to do for a few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's entertaining as hell. But what's going to happen whenever it's like, okay, jokes run its course?
Well, I think there were some people who, the first time it happened, said, "Well, this devalues the title," and I was like, I'm not sure that I think it devalues the title. I mean, I think there's a place on the card for comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I certainly don't think it devalues the title.
I mean, what really does devalue the title these days? Because, back in the 80s, it was prestigious. It was the great thing. In the 90s, everyone was fighting for it. Nowadays, it's kind of just like, oh, you want to be a champion? Here you go.
Well, the way they position things nowadays is that no one cares about the title. It's like people are fighting over who is like the favorite person of like the McMahons, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's real weird. It's like Rollins was pissed because not so much that he lost the title, but the title just comes with being the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And then Owens is sort of like, I'm the new guy, like I'm their new favorite. And it's like, that's weird. Like,
yeah.
Why do you care that you're like the teacher's pet or whatever?
Exactly. And it's, the main case that I would probably have for it is once they did have the brand split and they had the championship match, oh, the title's coming to SmackDown. What did they do the very next week? Well, screw that title. We're just going to create our own. Okay. Well,
Yeah, well.
All right. Well, now you have 2 titles again. Yeah. And you're going to have 2 tag titles and 2 women's titles. So where's the prestige? Where's the rarity of fighting for that title? It's like, well, I can't go for that one. So I'll just go for this one instead.
Well, I think that that it could be done. Like they could make both sets of titles important.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying it's possible to make both sets of titles important. It's just seems like they don't have the ability to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Like they've forgotten how to do that.
And
not that it can't be done. Not that just because there are 2, then both are irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's just like they don't know how to make them both relevant.
Yeah, and also the roster is stretched so thin. Like you only have a handful of tag teams, a handful of female competitors. Like you said, just a small handful of main event guys. So it's like, what are you going to do? You're just going to cycle them all around and come up with as many combinations as you can? Well, then what? I mean, you've got a Survivor Series coming up where pretty much all of your tag teams from SmackDown are going to be in the match. All of your women are going to be in the women's Survivor Series matchup. And they're going to have a handful of guys for the traditional 5-on-5. I guess. I don't know if that'll help, though. But I don't know. because they're going to have those 3 matches on top of Goldberg and Lesnar, and then, you know, a championship match or 2, cruiserweight match and all that. But, you know, I don't know. It's just, I feel like they have so many titles and not enough people to make it really feel like there's a fight going on.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Because it's like, okay, you can have 4 or 5 people go for the World Championship, 4 or 5 people go for the Intercontinental title, then you've got the tag titles, then you've got the women's title, and that's just SmackDown.
Right.
And then you have to throw in the Cruiserweight title on the Raw side. So it's like, goodness, it's so stretched out. And on top of that, you're trying to make new stars in Braun Strowman and Nia Jax, who hasn't been on Raw in the past couple of weeks. You've got Becky Lynch, who's out on injury. You've got Eva Marie, who's been suspended and hasn't returned since. You've got Paige, who's out on suspension and might be fired.
I understand where you're coming from when you say that the titles don't feel like a big deal because there are only like a handful of people vying for them. But in all honesty, even if they had 20 people for each division, they could only focus on 4 or 5 at a time anyway. So it's sort of like what am I trying to say? I don't even know what I'm trying to say other than even if the roster was twice the size and they had a full roster for each show, like they still couldn't make you they still couldn't show you 20 people are in this division. They could still only show you like 5 people are in this division.
But I mean, you could swap them out and have some.
Yeah, I mean, if your point is that there's more like,
because it's like, okay, once the Orton and Wyatt feud ends, where do both characters go? Once AJ and Dean separate, where do they go?
That's a dream.
I wonder if they're gonna do like AJ versus Orton.
I mean, the question to AJ is that he goes back to Cena eventually.
Yeah. I mean, that's where my head is. You know, that there's so few people and so many titles. I feel like just the ratio is off. Where it's like, okay, well, you know, I've gone through the entire division. Nothing really for me to do now. It's kind of like the New Day. You know, where they're at now. They've beaten everyone that has been laid out in front of them, and then you go up against, you know, Anderson and Gallows, beat them. Oh, wait, well, no, we want a rematch. All right, you lost again. I mean, hey, we get one more, right? Okay.
Nope.
Would this make you feel better? Do you just want that first hour of Nitro where anybody in the fucking world could have showed up on the show, and it makes it feel like there are so many people under contract that anything could happen?
I don't. To be honest, I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
I just feel, you know, it's kind of meh. Like, I like that there's a structure kind of now where you know you're gonna have a cruiserweight match. You know they're gonna, you know, but it still feels like same old Raw. Each week, we start it with the 15-minute promo, have a match, go to commercial, come back, end the match.
They could
have a backstage segment.
They could definitely mix up the formatting of the show.
Yeah.
Just because you're slotting the women into the first one now doesn't mean that the format is any less still.
Right. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for or what can be fixed, but
they didn't change enough about how they do business.
Yeah.
SmackDown does feel a little. The thing that I think makes SmackDown an easier watch is it's so fucking quirky. It's like you've got like Dean Ambrose and Rhino and Heath Slater versus The Miz and the Spirit Squad, which is kind of a quirky little fucking setup of like just people thrown together, which is not necessarily gonna knock anyone over with how awesome it is, but it is fucking weird and it does sort of get your attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's so weird is when it first started, it was like, oh man, Raw is better than SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Then it quickly changed. SmackDown.
Raw has more people that I want to see, but SmackDown uses the people they have better. Is the way I currently feel about the product.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's time for some of the older guys to move on. You know.
Man, I don't know. If they do that, I don't know who the fuck's left.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Nobody's
Like,
over to the
they
point
need
to take over.
That's what they should have been doing this whole time. We've beat this dead horse too many times. that they should have been making new stars in the process of Cena and Orton being on top. But like Kane's going to be gone soon. Big Show's going to be gone soon. Orton and Cena will probably be out the door within 5 years. So it's like, guys, come on. R-Truth, Goldust, Mark Henry, all those guys are.
Yeah, but they're not taking up any. They're taking up roster spots, but they're not taking up any meaningful roster spots. They're not really taking anyone's spot.
Right, but could that spot have gone to someone else that you're trying to build up as a new star?
Sure, but I mean, that spot in particular isn't going to make anyone else's star.
Sure.
It's just like we have 50 people and they are slotted in somewhere in the 40s. Like I don't feel like they're taking anything away from anyone who could use it any better. Because even if someone else was on the card in their spot, I don't feel like they would be giving them the sort of material to work with to get over to the to the point of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
There should be other people doing weird shit instead of those people doing weird shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It feels like even with NXT, I'm having a hard time keeping up with that. Like I'm far more interested in the takeovers than the show itself. Similar with the with Raw and SmackDown these days. I feel like we're just trying to get to the pay-per-view.
I think you're just burnt out, brother.
I might be. That might be it.
That's what it sounds like. All honesty, it just sounds like you're burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just happens. I mean, you have been doing a wrestling podcast for 6 years or whatever the fuck we've been doing this for, and you watch as much of the product as you can to keep up with it. And
Yeah,
I know that feeling.
A-Bear went through it.
Yep.
I'm sure.
We've all been there, guys. You'll get there one day
Yeah, I'm sure.
when they're lowering you 6 feet down to the ground,
I'm
and
sure it's it seems pretty natural.
we'll make sure we put all your DVDs in there. And
Ain't it natural about me, baby?
what we'll do is we'll run a cable. We'll have a laptop set up. We'll run a cable so it's constantly powered, and you can have the WWE Network on in your casket.
Well, I plan on hanging in there until transhumanism, and then I'm just gonna become a fucking cyborg.
There you go.
Just put my brain.
And just keep watching it.
Just put my brain in a robot.
Heck yeah, man.
But if that's the case, couldn't you be able to process all of the wrestling within 3 minutes and be like, all right, I'm done?
See, that's the scary thing is that about that is what would we become because we would absorb everything much faster.
It'd be like that skit from Family Guy where the guy walks into the movie rental store and he's like, show me season 3 of whatever show, and they just hold a little scanner gun, goes right over the eyes and goes, that's not how you use a chair, and then he walks out. And,
yeah.
So it's like you're able to process everything just like that.
That's not how you use a chair.
Imagine the future if you can just do that.
Yeah, man, that's sort of weird.
So, what do you think? What do you guys think about the whole Sheamus and Cesaro? Let's do a live Facebook video while
I think
partner's having a match.
I think it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking.
I mean, I could get into them as
Nothing says ratings like, hey, go to another platform and watch this.
I could get into them as a tag team. I could even get into them as a tag team who was dysfunctional, even though that's played the fuck out.
But they're totally different.
But what I can't get into is the way that they're going about it.
Yeah.
We just did Facebook Live. After this, we're going to tout.
Yes. Everyone remembers tout.
No one uses it.
No one used it. I don't know. Tyler, what do you think about Sheamus and Cesaro as a tag team?
It's falling flat for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them both. I like Cesaro more, but it's just falling flat for me. They don't have nothing going on, so put them as a tag team. New Day doesn't have anything going on.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's right. So here's the question. I guess the one that's on everyone's mind.
Pop it.
Twist it. Will the New Day end up surpassing the Demolition record?
Okay, how many more days do they have? Until
50, somewhere around there.
The next pay-per-view, they're fighting Sheamus and...
Yeah. The new tag team that are dysfunctional. So do you have them...
Because that, like, advertises, like, hey, they're going to get the titles. That kind of advertises. Not necessarily, but I feel like it. But, fuck.
Or would you have them lose and say, no, we would have won, but Cesaro got in my way, or no, we would have won, but Sheamus got in my way.
I just feel like New Day's gonna keep him.
Yeah, break the title.
Yeah,
or break the record. See, I feel that. I feel like they'll break the record, but Cesaro and Sheamus will still be the guys to take it off of them. I don't know.
Who knows?
Not me, but I might have some change.
Nichols.
What do you think about Bo Dallas attacking Curtis Axel?
Hey, man. He's got to do what he has to do, man.
Yeah.
And
social outcasts are officially no more. Poor Curtis Axel.
Yeah, well, he deserves it.
He does?
No, he doesn't.
Why does he deserve it?
He deserves it because Bo doesn't need anyone to Bo leaving him. He's
except
himself.
Bo. That's right. Except for Bo. Kind of shocked that he beat Neville in order to get that point across, but whatever.
Hey, man. Bo was a bigger character, and he won more matches in NXT when they had the feud with Neville and Bo Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll start it up
yeah,
again.
That's true.
And, hey, Heath Slater is evolved, and he's gone up. Now it's time for Bo Dallas to go up.
It's his time. All you have to do is Bo leave.
Bo Dallas goes up. Curtis Axel stays in the same place.
Yeah. What do you think of Braun Strowman defeating the Mile High Trio? Whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. What
about Sami Zayn answering the call?
Is this a smart thing with Sami Zayn right now?
It's something for him, though.
I know he loses to everyone, but let him be the one to defeat Braun. I don't want Zayn to lose.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want Zayn to lose either, but we got to face the facts.
I know. He's a mountain of a man.
Of Kurt Hawkins.
Oh, fuck. That's another story.
Yes. Unfortunately, we did not get to see Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, because Apollo ruined that shit.
How dare he?
God damn it.
Monster. But back to monsters. Braun Strowman going up against Sami Zayn somewhere in the near future. Sami Zayn was asked backstage, why did you do that? And he's like, because no one else will.
And plus, I have nothing else going on.
I've got nothing else to do.
And plus, people backstage want me to fight him.
I get paid if I get out there.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to beat his ass.
Yeah.
Try.
I'm the underdog from the underground.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out the underground and go on.
Awesome hat.
Awesome hat.
Yeah. Sasha Banks got interviewed by Lita. The Brian Kendrick, Drew Gulak, and Tony Nese defeated TJ Perkins, Cedric Alexander, and Rich Swann. What did you guys think about the Dana Brooke and Bayley situation that happened? It looked like Bayley might have gotten injured in the process, but I mean the ending was just so quick. There wasn't really like a finishing move or anything. It was just very sudden. I mean, what do you think there, Doug? Okay. Oh wait.
I'll wait
just a moment. I will wait. I'll wait patiently and quietly, but not too quietly.
Okay, I don't know what you're asking me.
Dana Brooke and Bayley.
Let me tell you what I was thinking about while I was going to get a Coke. Then.
Okay.
What I thought about in my head when I went to get a drink is that what if, as I was talking about transhumanism a few minutes ago, then, obviously this is going to be recorded and live on the internet. And what if
forever?
What if the robots hear this as, the singularity is
They're coming after you.
What if it...
Sorry, I'm throwing.
You ever think about the singularity? Do you think that's possible? Do you think it's scary? Because the singularity became my big fear after I had my original big fear of an existentialism, what the fuck about death? Death was my biggest fear, and then I think I forced myself to cope with death a little bit. I still don't think that I'm 100% cool with death, but I think I've gotten to a slightly more chill place with death. And then after that, I was like, what about the fucking singularity? That could be fucking scary. What do you think about the singularity? Fuck Dana Brooke. Who cares? I mean, no disrespect to Dana Brooke. She's fine for her experience level, but she's not experienced enough to be on the biggest show and the biggest company in the world right now.
Well, I mean, do you think Bailey got injured, or
I can't remember how it went down.
it was like she got thrown into the ring post, and then it looked like Dana was supposed to put her feet on the ropes or something, but she didn't.
See, I really don't want to talk about singularity.
I mean, Tyler, take it away. Singularity.
I don't remember the finish of the match.
We're talking about singularity?
Do you think it's scary or not?
Is that where, like, knowledge, like, transcends,
the singularity is like the technology,
overruns.
The rate at which technology, like, doubles is, like, eventually gets to the point where, like...
Skynet.
Yeah, basically.
Skynet is real, and we all end up
Because
dying.
you laugh about it, but I heard that, was it on the internet or the radio, where they're coming up with, they're already in the process of making a smart AI, whatever.
They already have this test. I can't remember what it's called, but there's this test that basically it's can the AI fool a human into thinking it's like a person, and there are already robots who pass that fucking test.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, it still looks like a robot, but like if you weren't, like if it was behind a sheet or something, and we were like talking to something, and we're like, is this a robot or not? There are apparently already robots who can pass that test. They're probably offended that I'm calling them robots. There's probably like a sophisticated like name for like.
You would hate absolutely if this is your like biggest fear. You would absolutely hate the new show that Kelsey and I are watching. It's called Westworld.
I've seen that, but I mean I haven't seen it, but I've seen like Westworld somewhere.
Yeah, you would probably be petrified.
Why?
It scares me, but I'm still like interested in it.
It is very interesting. Imagine Truman Show meets Hunger Games meets Jurassic Park. All right, so
well, Jurassic Park sucks. Which I know is a I know that's.
It's okay.
I know it's not a popular opinion, but Jurassic Park sucks.
Okay, that's that's
All
your
of
opinion.
them, none of them are good.
What about Jurassic World?
It sucks.
Okay.
I haven't even seen it. I'm just gonna go that it sucks.
Oh, okay.
I saw the real Jurassic Parks and they suck.
I'm also not a big fan of Jurassic Park either. So,
Just out of curiosity, what about the original Jurassic Park? Did you not like? Just out of curiosity.
It's not okay. Look, let me be clear. It doesn't actually suck. I just don't like it.
Okay.
And it's not like here are the things that are wrong with this movie. It's more than I think it's overrated than it's
Okay.
a shitty movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That's fine. But anyways, Westworld. Okay. It's based off of a movie in 1973. It was supposed to be adapted into a book and it never got adapted. Anyways, so got adapted.
This is Westworld.
Yes.
Okay.
It was originally a movie named Westworld back in 1973. Same premise. It's a little bit different though. Obviously, you change things around and you're turning a movie into a full-fledged series. So imagine you want to go on vacation and you'd like to travel to the Old West. You know, gunfights and old saloons and all that. So there's a place where you can go called Westworld. Hop on a train, go on there. It becomes like an old-fashioned locomotive. You get to dress the part. You get the guns, everything. They drop you off at this location, and there's just people everywhere. But the thing is, they're not people. They're androids.
Right.
They can communicate with you. They have responses. They can improvise responses. So if something changes that's not in their norm, they can reroute it back into it without you really knowing the
It
difference.
doesn't just like break the system.
Right.
Gotcha.
You can shoot them. Blood will spurt out from wherever you shoot them. They shoot you. It's kind of like getting hit with a paintball. You feel it. It's not gonna do any heavy damage.
Gotcha.
So if you want to get into a gunfight, you can. If you want to go and make love to some of the ladies there, it's possible. But what's happening now is that there's some sort of glitch that is causing them to think outside of their initial programming. They're starting to remember, like when they were killed, or they're remembering the past bots. You know, because whenever a bot goes defective, they have to switch it out, put another one in. You know,
is it like a commentary on like past lives type thing through the guise of AI? So it's like they sort of like remember past lives or something.
They're remembering previous memories.
Okay.
It's like, wait, you were played by someone else. It was like, whatever.
So they go haywire.
Well, we're only 3 episodes into the season.
Well, okay. What is this? What station is this on?
It's on HBO.
Ah, crap. Okay.
But I have it recorded on DVR.
Tyler wants to know if it's on Hulu.
No, HBO doesn't have nothing on Hulu.
No, they have HBO Go and HBO Now and all that.
Well, you know what? I don't even fucking watch all that much TV, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Just sounds interesting. I want to watch
it.
This.
Really, I mean, the first episode, it's got James Marsden, who played Cyclops in the X-Men films. He's a character on there. It's got Ed Harris, Anthony Hopkins.
It's an HBO show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good. Really good. The first episode I loved because they did a ragtime, the ragtime piano. Mm-hmm. They did a cover of Black Hole Sun on there. Really good. They did an orchestral version of Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. Like an orchestra. Uh-huh. It was really good. Whatever.
That makes sense.
But, yeah.
Well, okay, I got to get your guys' opinion on one other thing.
Okay.
So we talked about singularity. So what do you guys think about this? The theory that we may be living in like a fucking, like, the whole, like, we could be like living in like a
Marvel or something.
Basically the Matrix or whatever. Like,
sure.
But it's like, if we have the ability to create like a virtual reality, then the probability that we already have is like almost like 100% or something. Like, I think that the theory is that that like civilization either always dies out before we get to the point of creating like a really, I mean, I know there's like PSVR and shit I'm saying, but like a really like
no glasses needed.
Yeah, like this feels like as real as it could feel. Like civilization always, like a cataclysmic event always happens right before we get to that point.
Right.
Or we're already in the fucking Matrix.
I don't think we're in the Matrix.
But how do you know?
You don't know, but my thought process is that I'm not.
Were you saying, though, like, we'll get to a certain point and then civilization's going to die and then it'll start over again?
No, the theory is that with the way, I mean, I think it plays into a lot of the technology, the way that technology progresses so quickly, is that if you look at that, like, curve of technology, that eventually we get to the point where we can do that. But if we're not in it, then it's because some like event happens that stops the technology from progressing to that point, or we've already done it and you're in it, is what I'm saying. Because like if you can't stop the technology, then something has to happen to stop the technology, or how do you know we're not just already there? That's the crazy person theory, which sometimes I entertain. So.
Huh.
I don't know.
Some deep thoughts going on here this week on the podcast.
I mean, we can talk about Bailey if you want. I mean, that's probably why people are listening. I know that's why people are probably listening to hear us talk about Bailey instead. But
yeah, I mean, we pretty much covered all of Raw. We've covered a good portion of SmackDown. Alexa Bliss defeats Naomi. Randy Orton and Luke Harper ends in a no contest. Got to see Kane pop out of a casket. Cool.
Guess we're gonna get that Orton-Kane tag team.
Yeah.
Who could care? I mean, better that they're contained with each other than throughout the rest of the show. Look, if you're going to give me a program that's going to have Orton, Kane, and Wyatt in one fucking program that's not going to stink up the rest of the fucking show, go for it.
It's going to
bundle you up in a group.
It's going to be RKO hell. Oh, hell. Carmella faced off against Nikki Bella. Miz and the Spirit Squad defeated Ziggler, Slater, and Rhino. Baron Corbin defeats Jack Swagger again. And we already talked about
Slater was they cut that promo. It's like you're asking why we came to the rescue of Dolph, and what was Rhino said? I hate male cheerleaders. You think that was funny?
I didn't see that part. Sorry. Yeah. So I mean that kind of takes us into hot topics. Fight Network has offered to provide TNA with funding to repay the loans to Billy Corgan and provide additional transitional assistance to the company. So TNA not dead yet, still floating.
One thing I was asking Daniel before you showed up, Doug, was I really, I know we're all curious about that. I really want to know what's the details of Billy Corgan, suing TNA.
It's sealed.
It's sealed. I know. That's why I'm.
Okay.
Everyone's
I
curious.
thought you were like, give me the load. I was like, I don't know.
I'm super.
Give us the
curious.
dirt, man.
I'm so curious.
The
man.
way like Meltzer was talking about it is that if he got the injunction, which would keep them from selling it until everything happened, that the suit would get unsealed this week, like Thursday, which would be like tomorrow or today if you're listening to this now, is the talk. But as of right now,
Still unknown.
But the weird thing that I don't think we talked about that was sort of uncovered in all this, among like people uncovering the other people that TNA owns money to and the other lawsuits that are out there, is that they've already sold some of their library to
Corgan?
No.
Fight Network?
Fight Network already owns some of the TNA library. They've already sold it, some of the library to them. So they are so fucking stupid. They didn't even sell their library as a chunk. They've already cut a piece off and sold it to them.
That's curious. That's weird. I wonder what they sold. Like,
why have the whole cake when you can have a piece?
Yeah. So
that's stupid.
So now,
well, you don't want the whole cake because you don't want the whole cake because you'll get sick. I mean,
yeah.
Sure.
Duh.
So now the WWE may very well not ever get TNA's library because if they owe what is the place against
Fight Network?
Fight Network, if they owe them money, then they may have dibs on selling like the footage to them first. So that's how mismanaged this company is.
Wow. Then I read online, I don't know who interviewed Jeremy Borash, but Borash was saying everything's going fine.
That's what you say when you work for the company.
Yeah, you have to say, yeah.
Everything's fine as everything.
Yeah, people like to make up rumors, which people do, but still.
Oh, what's that? We owe $264,000. We're fine.
Don't worry, I've always been paid.
Don't worry. Oh, Billy Corgan's issued a restraining order against Dixie Carter and got it. We're fine. Everything's good.
Yeah,
everyone's happy.
I'm gonna go eat.
Everyone got paid.
The acting president has a restraining order against the majority owner.
We're fine.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. They can't be by each other in public, but I'm going to go eat brunch with them at their house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just got off the phone with them. Everything's fine.
Yeah, cool. Wink.
Yeah. So somehow TNA is still staying afloat.
I wonder if Dixie Carter's afraid of the singularity. Dixie, if you want... Tell you what, Dixie, if you want to do a podcast, and we don't even have to talk about TNA, we'll talk about crazy conspiracy shit and like weirdo theories like this. If you want,
I'd listen to you talk about that.
I'm not very knowledgeable. I just know a little bit about all of them, and I'm gonna
send out some emails to scientists and theorists and all that, and have Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson on
singularity. Does Bigfoot?
They're too
exist?
mainstream. They're gonna deny all the real shit, like the singularity and the.
What about this El Chupacabra exist?
Well, now you're getting
aliens out there.
You're getting a little too far out there.
Yeah, what if aliens are out there?
Got to keep it in a more realistic side.
I mean, according to WikiLeaks, Tom DeLonge emailed Hillary Clinton about fucking aliens.
So, yeah.
Anyway. I knew there was a reason I like that guy.
Other hot topic news, Undertaker. There have been a lot of pictures that floated up last week of him walking around with crutches.
Did you see it?
I did see the pictures.
How's he look?
I mean, he was holding walking crutches, but it's fine. It wasn't like normal crutches that you have. It was more like wrap around the arm kind of thing, help you out. But it was apparently because he
sort of like how Richard has, like those, like the
he apparently underwent hip surgery, so that's
dude.
The reason
He'll need to wrestle ever again.
I mean,
I feel like
supposedly he said he's done, but.
I hope, man.
He sort of always says he's done that.
Yeah.
I'm done for this until WrestleMania.
It's crazy. Speaking of crazy, Paige, of course. Yeah. Paige has proposed to Alberto Del Rio, and he said yes. So
Alberto El Presidente. She proposed in the ring.
She did. Congratulations to the happy, crazy couple. Those two are insane.
was it a
And
Papa?
her,
What was her tattoo?
her father is not happy either.
Really?
He's like, I am against this.
Why?
Remind me to tell you guys what the supposed theory is off the mics.
The theory of
We're not gonna
singularity? Or
No. We cover that as good as we can.
Okay.
Unless we're gonna get some professionals.
All right.
We're just not gonna allege any crazy shit on the podcast.
Fair enough.
Why not?
Oh, just because I don't want to get sued or anything. I don't want to get slapped down by anybody.
But as long as we say alleged, rumored, stuff like that, we're in the clear. It's okay.
I mean, it's irresponsible speculation from people that I'm gonna, contribute to, but not on the podcast.
All right. Sorry, folks. You won't be able to join us for that part of the conversation. But, yeah. Nope. There's also a rumor going around that the Boogeyman might be returning to the WWE. Yeah. Good job, Doug. So the Boogeyman may be returning to the WWE. Apparently, he declined shows in December and January. So possible Royal Rumble return? Maybe. You never know.
I think this is going to eliminate quickly.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That'd be fine. So with that being said, it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your question, what? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got a little bit. I don't have a full review, but I have some
2K
cool
news?
Yeah, some cool
All right.
features. I've been playing universe mode and stuff like that.
Okay.
I did the you know how they have the oh my god moments and stuff like that. They have the unicorn stampede.
Nice.
It's so cool. And also with New Day, they have the Freebird rules, like on the New Day as a tag team.
Good.
Biggie and Kofi has the belts. They walk out or whatever, but Xavier and Kofi can fight. With the belts and stuff like that.
That's good.
A lot of new animations and stuff like that. The promo feature on there.
Custom promo.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like it works that great. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but it's just
Long way to go.
yeah, it's like it depends. There's different promos you can do if you're, trying to get yourself over, or if you're trying to like call someone out, and you just gotta pick which will go with the crowd and stuff. If you're a face and heel, and it's not their voices, it's just words. What do you call it?
Sort of like karaoke
Subtitles
scrolling
and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They could have.
How are the controls?
It's pretty much the same as last year. Also, with the submission system, there's two ways you can do submission system this year. The one they had last year, or you can switch out to. It's kind of like a button mashing system, where it's like it'll have like it could be since I'm Xbox, like you press XXX or YYY and stuff like that for a while, and it'll just change on you and stuff like that. So I did it that way because I still can't master the submission system from last year.
Gotcha.
Guys, it sucks. They said it. Oh, they made it easier. To me, it's the same
Still
thing.
difficult.
It's still
Still a
difficult.
challenge.
There are some glitches. Not as bad.
Make sure you save the videos of them.
No, there's really sucky glitches. They're
I
not
know.
like fun at all. Like whenever you're doing the promo system, whenever you're walking into the ring, like the whole like the picture of you like shakes badly and stuff like that. I'm like, that's weird. What else? I told you about you can jump someone. It could be on a tag team.
Yeah.
Whatever. I also did. I fought in the crowd. It's pretty fun. I also fought backstage. It's pretty cool too. There's something else. I don't know. I really like that unicorn stampede. We beat the Dudleys easily with that move.
Nice.
But I'll have more.
More to come
Yeah.
as the weeks roll on.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to talk about Total Bellas?
I think Tyler missed some.
The only thing I saw is it starts off with they're just really harping on Daniel Bryan because he doesn't want to do a quickie.
Yeah, it was sort of a.
And then they do it, and then like Brie and Daniel Bryan, they didn't really like it, and Nikki like calls him out like, "Oh, you're not doing it right," and or something like that. You should enjoy it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was sort of weird.
Yeah, it's not that great.
It makes them seem like weirdos though.
The quickie.
I don't think it's weird to enjoy taking your time more than like to have like quick sex or whatever, but the way they harped on it made them seem like weirdos. The way they're like, I don't know.
That's Nikki.
Nah, I think it was Brian and Brie made themselves seem a little weird with it. I don't know.
They also have John Laurinaitis and the Bella's mom.
Prenup.
Yeah,
We want
prenup.
prenup. We want prenup. Yeah. Something that you need to have.
Lord.
We want prenup. We want prenup.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Yeah. Then John. Well, later
Get down,
on, because
Bella's mom.
you know
Go
how
ahead,
they
get
separate.
down.
They
Get
separate.
down, Bella's mom. Go ahead, get down.
They separate, and the girls go with each other, and the guys go with each other, and they're like in a cigar room with like suits on and stuff. And that's when John was like, John Laurinaitis is like, well,
Big Johnny.
yeah, he's talking about the prenup. He's gonna get his lawyer over here, and
I'm gonna call my lawyer. People power.
Daniel Bryan and John Cena are like, yeah, you have to do that. And then JJ, yeah, well, he's skeptical because this is this
his
will be
mom,
this is her third marriage, or will be a third marriage and stuff like that. But John Cena was like, man, you got to get that going because how do you say it? It really helps you.
He was basically like it's a dog fight.
It's a dog fight, yeah.
I don't know. It was most of the episode was about the prenup, the quickie stuff, which made Brian and Brie seem pretty weird.
And then John Cena taught Brie how to drive a stick, and then then JJ's sister-in-law came over, and then like they were talking to Daniel Bryan, and he was like, "Well, I want swimming lessons from her."
The minute they did the John Cena teaches Brie how to drive stick thing, I was like, oh, they're setting up like a jealousy angle. Like I saw it coming a mile away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, this is definitely. It just looked weird. Like it looked very contrived.
Did anything come of that later on in the episode?
Yeah, because Brian did the swimming with
like,
that,
her
and she
boobs are
got
big.
jealous, and yeah.
Quality entertainment.
I think that's all I saw.
Yeah, I don't really think that there's much more to the episode. No, really.
I really don't know how they're going to go past the second season because really the premise is like, oh, since Nikki can't do anything because that's why she wants her family there. And
I don't even think it's a full season. I think it's just I think it's like a half season.
Really?
Until Total Diva starts, I think.
Oh, really? That's strange.
I might be wrong, but
Who knows? And
is Total Divas still going to be on Sunday still? I can't be fucking up my Walking Dead. I got too much shit to watch already.
So are you guys getting into Total Bellas like y'all were with Total Divas, or?
I enjoy it. I think I enjoy it more so because it's
the first few seasons of or the first two, I think, of Total Divas were pretty good. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
Here's a nice thought experiment. If you could, all-star Road Rules Real World Challenge, Total Bellas and Total Divas, you get your all-star cast. Who would you cast?
For which team? Okay.
Well, it's a amalgamation of the two. It's like you're getting an all-star cast of both shows, and then who would you run with? I think I would go with Brian and Brie, Cena and Nikki. Ariana and Vinny.
For which
Three.
team?
It's all. I'm saying like if you could pick an all-star team over
Oh,
of all Bellas and total divas.
What about Eve Marie and her boyfriend?
Who's that someone you'd pick? Is that you're picking? I don't know. I think I would go with like. I think I want like Big E and Natty's sister, so long as Natty and TJ never come to visit. They just can't be on the show.
But they got to bring their cats.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Do you remember all the flirtation between Big E and like Natty's sister?
Yeah.
We need more of that.
Yeah, we want more of that. We want prenup. No, that's stuck in my head.
Anything else to add?
Not really. Let's move on to Q&A.
Time to go in the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question come to us from Ace McSpade saying, "Hey guys, thanks for another great podcast. Just want to say I appreciate all the work you do to provide me with free entertainment every week. Anyways, I have a question. This might sound nuts, but do you guys think Paige is deliberately failing the drug test just to get out of her contract?"
I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that may be going on that we don't know about, but maybe there's some bitterness with, Del Rio going, and
I'm like 50-50 on it. I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think she's just lost her goddamn mind. And sometimes I think she's like, well, I want to go be with Alberto, so let me see what I can do to get out of
because
here.
she just
I think
proposed.
she's lost her mind because she wants to be with Alberto.
I think because she just
Not that
proposed.
there's anything wrong with Alberto, but like she is so head over heels for him. Like she would do anything. She got Alberto tattooed underneath her
Poppy.
her chest, on her ribs.
I don't know. I feel like if she just proposed or whatever, that's going to be kind of a hard thing to balance.
It's gonna be hard to return.
WWE
What if he was like, what if he didn't want to say yes, but he was like, well, we're in public. I can't say no to
Yeah. We are together publicly now.
it's kind of like the whole.
It's wild because his supposedly the story was that his wife left him over it.
Yeah.
So
And they're not
like-
officially divorced yet.
Not that I'm hung up on the technicality of that, but just the idea of like going from a marriage to like from one marriage to the next. It's just like take a breather
So quickly.
man.
Yeah.
Take a breather, man.
Yeah. And there's also speculation that the reason why WWE haven't just fired her is because of the neck injury that she's got. And they don't want that to look bad in the public eye of, oh, well, you fired me whenever I was injured. What is that? Talk about kicking me down kicking me when I was down.
They basically can't for PR reasons.
Sure.
But if she fucks around enough and fucks up enough, they could, on policy, fire her even while she's injured over like drug tests. If she fails while she's out hurt, they can still fire her.
Yeah. And maybe they'll just do that. Be like, look, just take something you're not supposed to. We'll take a drug test and say, hey, you failed. And
I don't think they have to dog her into it is the problem.
yeah. I mean, just look, I don't know, just the way she's carried herself lately, like that TMZ video or whatever that surfaced not too long ago. She just seemed out of it. Like she was so focused on him. And I mean, hey, if he's the one, he's the one. I'm not going to talk you out of it, but hey, you got to get something going. But
Just seems like bad news for both parties.
yeah, it doesn't seem like a win for
going down
one.
a dark path.
But I mean, they'll end up together, probably have a kid, and then it'll probably get ugly after a few years. Like nothing would make me happier than to see them to be happy and together, but I'm going off of intuition that it's probably not going to happen. But what do I know? But anyways, thanks Ace McSpade for listening to the show. We always do appreciate it and love hearing back. Final question coming to us from Clark saying, "Hey guys, I had the chance to watch Raw and SmackDown this week. Do you think that the cruiserweights have less time on Raw? I think the 6-man tag match could have been better given more screen time. Also, what's your opinion on James Ellsworth? Is he going to appear on future shows, or will this week's SmackDown be his last appearance? Anyways, another great podcast. Keep it up."
I think we talked a lot of Ellsworth already.
I feel like we could do some more.
Okay, let's do it.
As long as you've got two hands, you've got a fighting chance.
Can't get a chin lock on him.
No chin locks.
Like I said, he's
No
on
chin
a
music.
as of right now, he's on a per appearance deal. I think it's pretty open-ended because he's beaten AJ twice, so I could see them running it back at least one more time. So I think the likelihood that he shows up on at least once more is pretty high, I'd say.
Well,
he's got a fucking T-shirt.
Here's a speculation. Would he appear at the Royal Rumble? In the Rumble?
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Will we cheer for him?
Sure, why
Yes.
not?
Okay. That's what I
Will
wanted
you
to
buy his shirt?
No.
How much is the shirt?
$24.99. But
No, I
it
mean,
does go
like,
on sale.
yeah, I mean, I know how much the shirts are. I just mean, like, how much are you asking me, like, how much I would spend on it?
$10.
Would you buy it?
If I got the opportunity to meet him, I'd buy it. Have him sign it.
I mean, if someone gave it to me, I would take it.
What if they sold like knockoffs in the parking lot?
Then I'm in, because the fucked up thing is the one time that we always see the bootleg people, which I have no problem with. Go do your hustle,
Get your money, man.
Get your money. I don't give a fuck. The WWE is a huge, nasty organization. I don't care. They're
Down with the machine.
they are Walmart. They are McDonald's. Who cares?
Starbucks.
So go ahead, bootleg the fuck out of them. I don't care. But I want to see some creativity in your bootlegs. Like, if I'm going to pick up one of your bootlegs, I want, like, a color that is not the color it's supposed to be.
That John Cena shirt.
That one time we saw the dude with the fresh bootlegs that were, like, different colors and I didn't have enough cash on me. And now every time they want to pass them off as authentic to me. Like, dude, come on. Dude, lady, I know it's not the fucking real shit.
I'm still wanting to buy it.
I will buy it, but you got to put your own spin on it. I want your own spin. Bootleggers.
Yep.
Make it your
Step
own.
your game up. Come on.
I guess it's not bootlegging if you're making it your own, but
How
I mean,
about
like,
this?
tweak a little something. Make it a different color.
For our listeners out there, if you own a bootleg T-shirt, take a picture of it and send it to us.
That'd be cool.
Post it on our Facebook page or our Twitter. Because I'd like to see that. I want to see what the most creative bootleg shirt
Man, I
is out
remember
there.
the alternate colors of John Cena shirts that
It
were
was
never
a red
red.
John Cena shirt. That's the one that.
Well, they've had like real red ones though, haven't they? But I know
at that point in time, it was whenever he was doing like the orange and the purple.
Wasn't there
It was
like
definitely different.
there like a teal John Cena?
Yeah,
I thought there was
a
like a
bright
teal.
blue.
I don't remember, but I don't remember what the proper color was. I just remember it being like, okay, that's an obvious, not an official shirt. I would buy it if I had the cash from whoever it was.
Yeah, because around that time he was wearing the orange or the purple shirt, and someone showed up with like a red or a red one and like a bright blue, like a sky teal blue, and I was like, yeah, that looks pretty good.
Imagine like
I'm
having
into it.
the
I'm into
bootleg
it.
shirt of John Cena and you take a picture with John Cena. He'd be like, hey, where'd you get that shirt, man?
But yeah, so for our listeners out
That's
there,
awesome, actually.
if you do have a bootleg T-shirt that you've purchased, I
mean,
want to see it.
We got to be able to tell it's bootleg in some way.
Sure. But yeah, I want to see that. Cruiserweights. Did they have less time this week on Raw? Yeah, I think. Well,
I mean, as opposed to last week or as opposed to the Classic? Obviously, they had less time than the Classic.
Yeah. They were also given a time limit, so you knew what the maximum amount of time is. But this one, I think they had like an 8-minute match, and they went to commercial like 2 minutes in. And
Yeah,
the
well,
commercial breaks are always like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
so,
plus they're all in the same match this week.
yeah. So I would like to see them get a little more shine, similar to how they did the Cruiserweight Classic. But it's not my call. Whatever. Call. So that's going to do it for us this week. Make sure to submit your questions on our YouTube channel, WNS Video, also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com and WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. Subscribe to our show on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast. Why'd you type that
We're
word,
on
Tyler?
Stitcher,
Doug doesn't
Beyond
like that
Pod,
word.
and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us. And we're also on The Satchel.
The Satchel.
Get on it.
You can follow the podcast on Twitter at WNS Podcast, and Daniel's at WNS_Daniel. Tyler's at Tyler_Aber.
What is that MF Butthole?
MF Butthole. That's right. So for the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I am MF Butthole. No, I'm not. That's Noah. I'm
Doug.
Tyler Aber.
Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.